Assalamu alaikum everybody. In this video and the next video, we're going to talk about the friend functions and we're going to solve a few examples and questions about the friend functions. So starting with this video, we're going to talk about what is a friend function, why do we use a friend function, and what is the difference between a friend function and the regular function, the independent one. And we have two situations for friend functions. So starting with what is a friend function? Friend function is a function that isn't a member of a class, but it still has access to the private and protected members of the class, which means basically we know the feature of encapsulation um, in object-oriented programming. So we have private data members so we cannot access them from outside the class, but if we make a function as a friend function to that class, means we can access these private data members. Okay, and we can declare a friend function by using the keyword friend before the function, and we're going to see this in action. Also, why do we need to use a friend function? Uh, when you want two or more classes to share private data, okay, when a function needs access to a private data from more than one object or class, but you don't want it to be a member. So we don't want that function to be a member of the class, but we want it to be shared. And we're going to have examples on each situation. What is the difference between friend function and the regular function? Okay, the obviously the regular function cannot access the private data member of the class. So for example, if we define a regular function and we pass an object to that function and we try to access the private data member, we will get an error because of the encapsulation feature. But if that function is a friend function, it will have the authority to alter or change the data members or the private data members. Okay, so also we have two situations for friend functions. The first one is having it as a regular function independent outside the class. The other situation is it's a method within a class and it's a private data member. Sorry, it's a method inside a class and it's a friend function to other class. And as I said, we're going to see examples of of all of them. Okay, now let's go to the code. I prepared this class called rectangle. Rectangle has width and length, both of them are integer. We have uh, a void function, set data. It's going to set the width and length for the rectangle. So basically, we're setting some data here. Now, uh, let's go through the normal way that we used to have, which is if I want to calculate the uh, the area, okay? So let's say I want a function that return the area, so integer area. So this is the function, and then what I can do return basically width multiplied by length, okay? So this function now is going to return the area. And now if I want to check this, I can do cout and then t dot area. Now I should see the area, okay? So why did I put it directly inside the cout? Because it's a return function, so the area is returning a number, so the result of the multiplication of width and length will be here and will be couted to the terminal. So now let me compile my code and then let me, okay. So as you can see, here's the 25, okay? Yep, let me add end line to make it prettier, clear, then, okay. Now it's, yeah, 25, okay? So this is the normal way that we used to have. As you can see, area, because it's a member function of the class, it can directly access what? Access the data members of the class, which is the width and length, okay? So now, what if I want to make area as a friend function as an independent one. I need to define it outside the class. Now, let me delete this and write it over. And then here, as we said, this is, we need to write friend keyword. Obviously, I wrote friend wrong. Friend, a friend. Okay. So now this function is a friend function. Let me comment this out for now. Or okay, keep it for now. So this is a friend function now that we define. But now this function is a friend function. That doesn't mean we can do this. We cannot do the return width that multiplied by the length. Okay, why is that? Because as you can see, there's an error. Identifier width is undefined, which means the area function doesn't know what is width and what is length, because it's a friend function, but it has a certain authority to access the private data member, but it cannot access them directly this way. So we need to send the object to the function, and then from that object we can access the private data member. So basically I need to have rec as a type, and then let's say object, or object, let's name it object. Then here when I do obj dot width, then multiplied by obj dot length. Okay, now it should work. Wait, hold on. Area, area. Okay, semicolon. Okay. Yeah, so basically, we have the rectangle data type here because we want to receive this object. We have an error here because I need to tell the function, the prototype, that we have an object. Okay. So basically now it should work the same way it did. Now, if you can see, this is something important. Now t.area is wrong, which means the area function is not a function member of the class. Okay, so we cannot call it through the class. This is a feature of the friend function we mentioned in the definition, the start of the video. So now if I do this and then I pass t, which is our object, now if I save and then I compile the code, I should see the same result. Okay, so now we see 25 for both of them. Okay, yep, this is basically it. Okay, what else we have? We have the normal. Okay, let me do this. Let me show you a normal function. Let's say normal function, let's call it tt, or let's say yy. Okay, and then it take rec and then object. Okay, and then basically let's make it return this the area as well. Okay, so object, let me copy paste this quickly. Okay, so yeah, so I am passing it. As you can see, there is an error message. It's inaccessible. Member rect width declared at line 7 is inaccessible, which means, as you can see on line 7, I'm defining the width and length because this is the normal way of defining a function. It cannot access the private data member, but this function can, because we made it a friend function, and it reflects here in the main function, as you can see the difference between them. Yeah, so this for now. Let's do another example.